Hey, what's up, Internet? It is Doc, and this is the Battlefield 3 open beta, as if I needed to tell you that. I'm sure we've all seen countless hours of this on YouTube and God knows everywhere else, so I will spare you some of my thoughts for the most part, aside from the fact that I'm really enjoying it, having a lot of fun. Aside from all the bugs, I think this game is going to be a beast. I'm confident that most, if not all, of the weird shenanigans are not going to make it into the final release. And I can't wait for the 25th. I'm very excited. So, let me also say at the beginning of this, for all you PC fanboys, we are all well aware. You have done your job in making us aware that it is better on the PC, and thank you for that. We know this to be true. I've played it on the PC. I didn't care for the fact that I couldn't change my key bindings in the beta, so I've stuck to the consoles and prefer them still. So to spare us all your comments about, oh, PC is better, console is trash, take that to somebody else's video. We get it. Thanks for playing. So the reason I'm bringing this video out here is I have heard on Twitter and various places on YouTube, pretty much all over the internet for the most part, that a lot of people are frustrated with their in-game performance in the beta. And that is kind of to be expected. After playing myself, this game is nowhere near the same as Bad Company 2. It is not supposed to be. DICE came out and said on numerous occasions that this is supposed to be the sequel to Battlefield 2 and not either one of the Bad Companies, which are really more of a spin-off in the series than true sequels to their predecessors. So, that being said, you will notice many things are drastically different, i.e. prone, bullet damage, spawn stuff, and other shit like that. So, I've been having some really good games in this, like, very good games. Last night I live streamed some stuff and pretty much lived at the top of the scoreboard the whole night, 30 plus kills almost every time, with much fewer deaths than kills, and so I've been having good experiences, and I know a lot of other people have not been having good experiences, and so I wanted to kind of bring this video to share some of the things that I have done in order to have these good experiences in the beta in terms of, you know, in-game performance. Now, I've made a little list of things that I use to help me have those good games. And this game is not the best game in terms of KD, but it is a win. I do have 30 plus kills at the end, but quite a few deaths, and those are all my own fault. It was not because the enemies are good or that bullet damage is too high. It is because I made poor decisions in spawning through a section and actually cut that section out of the game because it was about 2 minutes long, and it was literally spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, and kind of boring. And since this match took like fucking 23 minutes to play or something like that, did not want to have a fucking huge ass video uploading, because I don't have time to watch ridiculously long videos, even though this will probably still be pretty long, but just to, you know, spare you some of the more boring sections of it. So let's start out with spawning. This is where most of the deaths that I got came from during that one section that I omitted. Was bad spawn decisions on my part. Really bad spawn decisions. I've really been enjoying the recon class. I like the fact that you can take the sights off the guns and just use iron sights, and so I've just been playing a lot of recon doing that and fucking loving it. The semi-automatic weapons play like the M14 or the M1 Garand from Bad Company 2, as well as the recon gets the addition of this mobile spawn point, which eliminates the need for you to have that one squad member who just kind of sits there and doesn't do shit, so that you can spawn on him. It's really like having an additional member in your squad, and so I've been trying to use it to the best of my advantage, in order to outflank or have easy access to MCOMs if I'm defending and what have you. And so I got this mobile spawn point right here, and when the enemies armed A, they armed A because they outflanked us and had all kinds of guys behind as well as to the side, and there was really nothing that we could do about it. And every time I spawned there, I instantly died because I was just surrounded by enemies. And now that is the fault of my entire team, myself included, for allowing them to get behind us and essentially infest this area with their presence. And so, you know, no matter what we did, unless the entire team somehow magically came together as a unit and went in there and cleared them all out, it was a done deal. They had that MCOM, they killed all of us numerous times, and we were fucked on that set of crates. So we move on to the next one. Now, as we all know, KD, not super important in the game, so I don't particularly worry about it. Now, it's nice to have a good KD. I enjoy it. It's fun to get more kills than deaths, let's be honest. And the mobile spawn point can be both an asset as well as a liability, depending on where you put it and how you use it. Now, I like to set it up in this particular area, somewhere in these tunnels, so that when I spawn, I will behind enemies more often than not. Often right behind them. Like, as soon as I come up, I'm stabbing 2 or 3 guys and taking tags because they're not aware of the mobile spawn point, which I find to be very hard to believe, as they make a lot of noise. It's just general electronic-y sounds coming out of it all the time, and so you can usually hear where they are, and or at least I can, and go and destroy them by just shooting them. It's all you have to do is just shoot them until they blow up. It'll say equipment destroyed or some shit like that. So that's the mobile spawn point. Use it to your advantage. If somebody else on your squad is a recon, try and communicate to them a good place to set it. I have several places that I like to put it, but just play around with it. See what's good, see what's bad. It is the radio beacon in the recon's gadget slot is what you're looking for. So, moving on to the next thing, prone. Prone is a big deal in Battlefield 3, as it is in most games that allow you to go prone, including previous Battlefield games such as Battlefield 2, etc., etc. I never liked the fact that prone was removed from both of the Bad Company games. It didn't make any sense to me why they would take out prone. It was just, it boggled my mind, the fact that prone was not in there. But prone is back. And prone, for Call of Duty players, I know Call of Duty is a bad word for the Battlefield guys, but I mean, I play both games. I like both games, and prone is a big deal in Call of Duty. If there was no prone in Call of Duty, I would probably quit playing the games. It's that serious. So prone is back, and one of the things about the higher bullet damage is you now have more tools in your arsenal to avoid taking said bullet damage, such as going prone. Now, the higher bullet damage hasn't really bothered me, and I haven't noticed it being all that bad, to be honest. I played a lot of hardcore in Bad Company 2. The clan that I'm a part of on the Xbox for Bad Company 2 is a hardcore exclusive clan. Like, that's all they play is hardcore mode, and so I've got enough play in that to know how to play a game with high bullet damage. Now, the debate will rage on for centuries, I'm sure, as to which one is more noobish, hardcore, or normal mode. And I gotta say, from personal experience, normal mode is easy mode. In hardcore, I have decent games with fairly high kills, but also fairly high deaths in the same sense. But it's still a lot of wins nonetheless. In normal mode, I'll pull out like 57-2 matches and shit like that. No camping, always rushing, no problem, with a shotgun or some shit like that. It's easy as shit. So this really seems to be like a happy medium between the two, and I like it, to be honest. So with that being said, since the bullet damage is higher, and if you get caught off guard, then you're pretty much dead, you need to make sure that you are the one catching people off guard rather than the other way around. And the best way to do that in my opinion, is through situational awareness and flanking. A while back, I did a video about how to effectively use shotguns. It was like 2 minutes long. I didn't even talk in it. It was all text. But a video about how to be effective with shotguns in Bad Company 2, and another video about how to play, or some tips for playing fast. Because a lot of people tend to camp in this game and it's only 30 frames per second, you can't play as fast. That's total bullshit. You can play just as fast as you want to play. And so a lot of the things that I've said in both of those videos ring true for every kind of play in Battlefield 3. And the big thing for both of them was situational awareness. You need to constantly be aware of where you are in the map, where the enemies are most likely going to come from, spawn points where they're probably going to spawn, where you are going to spawn in relation to where they are, as well as where MCOMs and things like that are. So by using mobile spawn points, spawning on squad, the various routes for flanking, you can be a much more effective force on the battlefield. And so this map is thought of by many to be a big choke point, essentially, and it's difficult to get through to MCOMs, especially in these tunnels on this set of MCOMs, as well as the set of MCOMs right behind it, where you have to go up those escalators and essentially funnel into a giant kill box where the defenders will most likely be waiting for you to come up and you will die a lot. While that may be true, using spawn on squad as well as the mobile spawn points, if you can get one person in there, just one person, so that you can spawn on them, spawn on a mobile spawn point, whatever, and essentially just infest the area behind the enemy, that will allow you to kill them from behind so they do not expect it, and give you as an attacker the opportunity to come in and take some boxes. That's what I've been doing. The fact that the squad system is not really working super great in the beta can make that difficult, as you have a bunch of idiot blueberries essentially in your squad as well as throughout the rest of the game. But if you get something going and somehow naturally it happens on its own, or you can get in a squad that will work together, then you'll be in much better shape. But essentially, the whole point of this video is to emphasize that through using good evasive maneuvers and good tactics to get behind enemies and behind your opposition, that you can still have good games. So this video is wrapping up, and essentially what I wanted to communicate in this video was that a minor adjustment to your play style can equal good games without having to sit in one spot with a sniper rifle and kill people at very long ranges. It's not very hard, in my opinion. It's something I've been doing for a long time anyway, so it just kind of came naturally. Others may have more difficulty with it, but give it a chance, give it some time. Do your best to play with a little more thought and a little less just I'm a beast and I will pwn everything, because chances are that's not going to be the case. If you think about things a little bit more before rushing in there, you will have great games. As I said earlier, most of the deaths that I had in this match were due to me just spawning mindlessly on the same spot over and over again, when I was obviously outflanked and there was not going to be much I could do about it. Like right there I died. That was just a stupid decision. I shouldn't have laid prone. I should have gone and tried to get around that another way, since I knew there was a guy in the train as well as at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, a lot of needless deaths can be avoided. The weapons, while they may be overpowered for some, that means they are also overpowered for you. And so use that to your advantage as well. And just, rather than trying to outgun your enemy, which is, that's a gamble. It's a crapshoot at that point if you're gonna win the gunfight or not. Think instead of outwitting the enemy would be my suggestion. Say right here, I come up and take Shaz's tags. Sorry, buddy. But right there, I knew that a direct assault was going to be failure, and so I came around behind, got a few kills, and I would say that is what you want to do. You want to try and get around behind, come from an unexpected direction, and then pwn noobs. I hope that this has been helpful to those of you who have been frustrated by this beta. It can be done. The first few matches I played were frustrating as well, but once I figured out what was going on, I've had good matches ever since then. So thanks for watching.